So often I get asked the question, where do I start? It usually comes accompanied with a look of panic and horror when people actually get to grips with the fact that they know that they don't have their financial stuff in order and that they need to get it done. I always think of financial wealth in the same vein or element or category as health, in that one of the definitions of health is the absence of worry. You don't worry about whether or not you should have that ice cream. You don't worry about whether or not you should exercise. And you don't worry about what you can and can't eat. You're not worried about aches and pains. You just are. You live in a state of peace of mind. And financial wealth is pretty similar to this. You're not worried about whether you've got enough for today or whether you've got enough for tomorrow. You know that your future is safe and secure, and you know that if life happens, you'll be able to sustain the knocks. So I like to think of financial wealth as 4 elements, which I call brief. First of all, there's financial basics, and these are the things that you and I all need to have in place. Your income cannot be less than your expenses. You need to make it through every single month. You also need to make sure that you're able to have enough gap to save for your future. The next one is R, financial resilience. And financial resilience is that peace of mind to know that you can deal with life's knocks, that you can deal with things such as losing your job or even the death of yourself or your spouse, and that the quality of your life and your family's life, the life you've worked so hard to achieve, will never drop, that you can maintain your current standard of living. The next one, the I, is financial independence. And financial independence is that confidence to know that you can create the income to look after your basic needs for the rest of your life. Independence, essentially, is those basic needs of medical aid, food, clothing, transport, the basic needs that you will have. It's not to live your normal life, it's just that you can create income, either from assets or from a side hustle or from some form of source that you control. Not that you're employed, but that you control. And lastly, there is financial freedom. And that's the ability for your assets to generate the income you need to live every day. Whether those assets are property investments, share investments, retirement funding, or a business that you've created that generates the income you need. It's the confidence of knowing that your assets will create the income you need for the rest of your life. Now, where do you start? I can't help you because I don't know you, but I do know that there are consistent things that all of us have to have in place. So I've created a download called the 16 things that you need to know. It's a worksheet, a tick box checklist that you can go through, and you can score yourself out of 16 and work out where your gaps are. Now, I did this for 350 people once, and the highest score in that room was 10 out of 16. And so you need to know that despite there being CEOs and finance directors and all these other funny people that are supposed to have financial advisors and their things sorted, it doesn't work that way. Most of us have an area of our life where we don't have everything under control. Sometimes because we don't know what we should have to make our financial wealth a place of no concern, of no worry. So what I want you to do is go through the list, work out your score out of 16, and then pick one of them to get done. There's a book that I've read called Getting Things Done by David Allen, and I love his approach to it. So don't put on your list, get a will, because that is something that'll take you forever to do. Break it down into micro steps, and then put on your list the next one of those micro steps. So if it's getting a will, micro step 1 should be email Jane, Mary, and Sue to find out who they used to do their will and whether they'd recommend them. Step number 2 might be email those lawyers and find out what they charge and whether they'll build a will for you. So make sure that in the comments below, once you've done your 10 micro steps for your next to-do that you put in list done in the comments below. And then secondly, that once you've taken the very first step off that list, no matter what it is, put first item done. And keep track of it, because it'll make you feel a sense of empowerment that you actually are doing something. Because no matter who we are, we have that deep sense in our tummy that things aren't sorted. So get it done, work through your list, and make sure that you keep reading and researching to work out how to complete every item on that list. Take care, have a great day. I'm Lisa Linfield.